he's gonna rupture the enemy. I think that's the important part, right?
Yeah, I have no idea like what it does for you in lane, but like if you can get it out of the laning phase, it makes some degree of sense, right? Like your first 3 and 4 out of your spells don't require you to actually have farm per se, right? You've got Blood Rage,
You can always put on your carry as well. So
which gives attack speed and spell amp. I'm actually looking at the numbers now to figure out whether or not it's good. 75 attack speed, which is a good amount.
For 2% damage a second though.
With 30% outgoing spell damage amp, you put that on
That's
Alina,
huge, yeah,
right?
that's
Like that's actually quite a bit. Obviously, Bloodright, it's just a nuke. Rupture is like a fantastic utility nuke spell that to be able to have from a support. It's just I just can't see what you would do for somebody in lane. So I'm weirded out. Motivate.Trust are like, yep, you picked the Luna last time. we know this is the thing you can do.
We know what you want.
So what carry do you want then against the Dusa?
It's rough out here because Motivate.Trust have like built a nice draft around Medusa. They have Ogre to buff her up. They have Ember to make space for her with Snapfire. They just need like an offlaner here to like complete that trio or quad of heroes that want to like play around. They can bring Medusa in whenever they feel like it. SMG on the other hand are like, I'm trying to like figure out what they have because Bloodseeker's like position is unclear to me, and that kind of like that decides a lot of what they have.
Well, let's assume it's the 5 and go.
We could assume it's a 5. They have team fight. They have damage. They're missing something that scales into Medusa. I don't know if there's a hero that like speeds up their draft enough to like to beat Medusa's timings. So they might just pick. Do they have last pick? They do. I think they just like wait and see what Motivate.Trust pick here, and then try and just give themselves like a really strong lane. Because their lanes should be stronger than Motivate.Trust's. If they can just win lanes and they can snowball the game, you just take good fights with roll.
Okay, I like that. How does Motivate.Trust stop this, Cap?
How do they start fights?
How do they stop? How do they make sure they don't get steamrolled with a Dusa? What's the final pick that you're looking for here, or the idea at least?
I'm trying to figure out what their last pick on Motivate.Trust is. Because they need, I think, additional initiation. Tidehunter would have been good. Mars is already banned.
Why is Centaur so unloved? He's great.
Against Bloodseeker?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's not about that. It's just about the lane. Like, he's a strong laner with Snap. Like, if I'm looking at this idea of like making like strengthening your lanes, so the SMG don't own you, but
we don't know what the carry is my biggest problem with that.
That's true. Yeah.
I would have a hard time agreeing with
you slaughter it up. Come on. Oh no, they pick Beastmaster. Okay.
Yeah, this takes advantage of the Bloodseeker's weak laning stage as well.
Yeah.
Because how do you kill boards with Bloodseeker unless you stop microing them altogether?
Yeah, there are heroes that I feel are really good against him, or like PA is a counter to Beastmaster in lane. I don't know I don't know her quarter-core matchup against Medusa though. But I know PA is a favored carry against Beastmaster. So is Naga, but I would not like to see Naga. That would make me very unhappy.
They had a combo for it, I'd say Morphling. I'm trying to think of a ranged hero just because that's what they did last time with Bloodseeker 5, but
yay.
That's fascinating.
Conquer's interesting.
That hero doesn't take advantage of the attack speed, and I don't feel like it really takes advantage of the spell amp.
But it's a good
from
lane.
Bloodseeker.
It's a decent lane. I mean, this is the beating the tempo, right? Their tempo is faster than Motivate.Trust, and that's what they're aiming for here. It means they're going to mitigate Beastmaster's ability to take their tower early because Conquer's so good in lane and like deep pushes and stuff, and he can stand there and he's happy. And yeah, they're gonna have to just be Motivate.Trust timing because I think they do outcarry them.
So last time SMG did something similar. They tried to out-tempo the enemy team with a carry Bristleback. They succeeded. Will they succeed this time, Sheeple?
They have pretty decent ability to fight, I would say, under their towers, so I think they could stop them. I think it's fine. I actually I like Motivate.Trust lineup a lot.
Okay.
I think for SMG to win, a lot of this game is off the back of Moon. And I think Motivate.Trust lineup is just a little bit simpler to be able to run, but I've never seen Bloodseeker 5, so I'm interested to learn.
All right. I can't wait to learn and see if SMG's lineup work yet again. or perhaps we just get a third game, which is always wonderful. And for those 3 potential games, we would have the same casting duo, because they're wonderful, because they're great, and they always narrate with the utmost passion. It's lizZard and GoDz.
Thank you, Avo. Too kind, too sweet. I think he's buttering me up, lizZard, but you know, I'm okay with that. How are you doing?
Yeah, his voice is just a song to my ears. It's fine. I enjoy it. He can butter us up anytime with his compliments and whatnot. How are you feeling about the position 5 Bloodseeker?
It's kind of been a Rogi classic. Like maybe not classic. Like he plays it a bit. Like so they've run this 5-position Bloodseeker throughout past DPC seasons. I believe you were covering some of those games.
Mm-hmm.
My interpretation is they saw the last 2 games where Motivate.Trust played first pick, and both times around they picked Pengo. So I think they picked Bloodseeker, basically say, we're not going to give you Pengo because you don't want to pick Pengo in a Bloodseeker.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I see.
So it's a preemptive like counter snatch pick or something like that. You get the Bloodseeker, you have the Pengo, you have a Weaver as well. It's not countered, something like that, I guess.
Perhaps. I mean, what are you seeing anything? What are you seeing when they go for a 5-position Bloodseeker? What's kind of the strength of this hero, and then what does it bring to the table?
I'm not seeing anything at all. Like maybe a couple of patches back when the Bloodrite was actually sick, when the damage was too good. Maybe back then. Yeah. Right now, I'm not feeling it. But sometimes this game teaches you things that you didn't know and you want to learn. Sometimes it teaches you things that you don't want to learn, and you didn't know that you don't. Never wanted to know or something like that. I don't know. In any case, Bloodseeker position 5 is scrambling my brain. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we'll have to see how this unique hero in a unique role pans out. As SMG, they've got they've got the cushion, you know. They can afford to lose a game. So if it turns out Bloodseeker 5 is, you know, no good, then they at least can take us to that ever, you know, missing game 3 that we somehow seem to be unable to find.
If anything does it, it's going to be a position 5 Bloodseeker. That's right. How I see it. What do you have? You have an AoE. You have an AoE silence, right? Your armor in the lane itself is actually super high. Like you get 5 armor plus he has Ring of Protection, so that's pretty solid. Overall, it's not like I'm trolling, but as you said, they have played this hero before and they do know what's up and they have a strategy behind it. So
yeah.
They know what they're doing.
We'll have to see how it kind of pans out and what the idea behind it is. They're pairing it with a mid-1 Kunkka. So it's a carry that doesn't necessarily need it. Like, Kunkka's just a strong laning hero. So I guess that's making up for the fact that Bloodseeker perhaps not the best laner.
Yeah, look, I'm joking with them and their Bloodseeker pick, and I used to be, like, long time ago when Meepo needed level 6 for ultimate, I used to play Meepo support. And you know what, actually, my teams usually would have the same general idea. Let's pick a carry that's completely self-sufficient, and then it doesn't matter what the support is. You can grid out a little bit. I think that's the case here too. Bloodseeker, he's doing fine at the moment though.
Yeah, he's already getting some good early harass onto Q in that bottom lane. The level 1 Bloodrite, you know, it's still solid. It's not quite what it used to be, but can pretty much help secure every ranged last hit if you want to use it. So that's definitely one of the things we're going to see out of that lane. Looking at some of our other... Oh, maybe not yet. There's a bit of action. They're still trading blows down bottom. Roger zoning them away with another Bloodrite. As, yeah, some of these other lanes, top lane, we do get the Pangolier. On the SMG side, this has been the hero that Motivate.Trust played in both games against TNC, but this time around SMG get it. Pengo has been really popular in the SEA region.
Yeah, I think this hero just didn't go out of the meta for the whole last year. Maybe some small stints of a week or two in which he's not picked quite often, but yeah, teams just like the Pango. And there are, like, you don't really see Bloodseekers on the opposite side very often. You don't really see heroes that do well against Pango anymore. Mars is picked up as well very often. Afu might be picked off. Yep.
Gets chased down. They do a good job using the Ogre's strength in the lane. And that's perhaps one area where Pango's still picked and is still very strong, like all throughout the mid game, but his lane stage can still be a bit weak, it feels like.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're playing versus Ogre, like it's very difficult to zone him with the Weaver and Pango. Most likely what will happen is if he finds a good position, he will zone both of you out of the lane, which is what happened to Apple, sadly.
Oh, Moon. Oh, he just got... Oh, he did get the order in there.
Top
I thought
lane?
Gacha Boy stole it, but yeah, top lane, they're going in for a kill. And Boomwell gets another one up here. This Ogre is just crushing. He's trying to just go die to a tower, but Afu's going to get it. So Afu, he dies and then he TPs mid to refill Moon's bottle, but as a result, this top lane is kind of suffering for it.
And wasn't truly like... I was watching top lane the whole time. It wasn't truly his fault because Pango, he had the kill on Ogre. He just missed Swashbuckle. He missed the Swashbuckle. It didn't completely connect. And instead of getting a kill, he dies. So, small mistakes there made by a Raging Potato.
Similar story with Boombell. He TPs mid after dying, refills the bottle, so just both supports, helping out their mid laners where they can. There's a lot of harass and spells being thrown around the mid lane, as well as some of these side lanes. Mid one's Kunkka doing some good harass, hits the Torrent, but doesn't have the backup of the Bloodseeker for now, so he's just looking to hide back in his trees. Well, his helm comes out. Top lane, Ogre, yeah. Being very low, and the bug is actually going to finish off the kill. Afu in the trees, getting off
Just
enough damage.
so strong. Those bugs. Now he has an urn as well available. So much damage coming from him.
Yeah, getting this first urn charges always feels really nice for your game when you can get them this early on.
I'm just thinking, if this game goes the same way like the first one, I feel like Team SMG should be able to take it. If there's just complete madness in the early to mid game. But if there's more discipline from Motivate.Trust this time around, if they play their cards a bit carefully, Medusa wins in the end.
Well, that is usually the
Roger?
Motivate.Trust classic, as we'll see Motivate.Trust getting a kill on Roger. Is there going to be counter kill? Mid one's trying to go for it, but he's just going to die himself, and Masa just gets both. These boars just preventing them from running away, and I'm not sure exactly what happened there for SMG.
Yep, I was not taught anything new with the Bloodseeker position 5.
Want to chase down Gacha Boy. Does Afu go for another Shikuchi? He's considering. He's got the urn charge as well. He's going to go for it, but at one point in the Searing Chain may save his life. Nope, Afu will get the kill, will die, but he doesn't give up experience, so solid kill for Afu nonetheless. And they'll get damage on the tower.
That was so good for him because of the bug. Man, I'm the biggest bug fanboy ever. It seems like the Weaver used the Swarm and it tanked the tier 2 tower. Weaver dies from like 2 hits on that tier 2 right there. If not for the Swarm tanking it, so really nice.
Raging Potato getting brought low here. The TP comes in from the Ember. It's going to be bottom lane where Roger gets the kill. Raging Potato just trying to escape from up top. This is with the Ember TPing in, so you've got to imagine they'll have the damage, and with the Sleight of Fist they do get the kill.
Yeah, they really needed to get the kill on the bottom lane as well. They needed that Snapfire or the Beastmaster. It doesn't matter as long as Kunkka gets closer to level 6. Because this lane, if it falls apart, SMG's game falls apart. It's as simple as that.
Cookie on Moon mid. He used the creep to set up, as it doesn't look like they want to chase onto Moon. The Blood Right coming in as well. Gacha Boy getting brought very low. They'll get the kill on Q first, and Gacha Boy goes down with shield crash. They'll get a T1 tower to follow. Great rotation from the SMG supports.
Yeah, really, really good. What looked like a move that could go well for Motivate.Trust goes extremely badly because they're just bringing numbers on SMG. They brought 4 heroes.
He's got his helm, but he's being pushed away. Usually it's Beastmaster doing the pushing, but SMG with the kind of superior early game, the ones applying the pressure to Motivate.Trust.
I feel it's something that they're doing really well when it comes to all SEA teams. I would say do this thing in which position 4 secures offlane or gives offlane just enough to be able to self-sustain, right? To be self-sustainable, and then you leave and you pressure mid and safe lane. You don't necessarily stay top until you take tier 1 or something like that.
For Masa, we'll see if how self-sustainable he can perhaps be. He's got supports backing him up. I think recognizing that if they aren't there, Kunkka can kill him with this ghost ship with any kind of backup. And both SMG supports are playing around this bottom lane. Both teams just fully committing to this bottom lane, leaving the Medusa and Pangolier alone top to kind of duke it out.
Yeah, I guess when you're playing Kunkka, you don't have boots, right? And you want to be Weaver. Should he be
fine.
He's fine, right? Yeah, he's fine.
Next Shikuchi.
Yeah. You don't want to leave bottom lane with the Kunkka. You don't even have boots. With that armlet, you can farm the hard camp, so that's what you're doing. And defending the tower, obviously.
Oh, Laguna Blade mid. Not going to be enough damage, it looks like, as we're going to Remnant out of there.
This status quo right now, I believe, is all right for SMG, because they're still searching for their item timing to start completely invading the enemy side.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job with this Weaver, just being pesky, preventing, you know, some of the ancient stacking. Basically, this Weaver is keeping both Motivate.Trust supports occupied.
And they're not really supports that can catch him. If you look at them, Ogre and the Snapfire, not the fastest and not the easiest spells to dish out on a Weaver. Fire Blast, yeah, sure. Cookie probably will not connect.
See if he can continue to be elusive. He's behind this bottom tier 1 tower. Maybe trying to snipe this Centaur for some extra bonus gold.
I'm just so surprised that after getting that double kill on Massa, they weren't able to rotate the Ember in on the bottom lane and start taking this tier 1. Like, I'm not sure why Gacha Boy is on the mid lane for so long. He lost the tier 1 tower. Maybe rotate. And they're losing tier 1 on top lane as well. Look at this. SMG is just taking any objective they want to.
Perhaps part of that has just been the rune control, where Weaver's keeping these supports busy. Gacha Boy is just not finding any runes to play around. Whereas it seems like Lean is the one who's been picking up all these power runes.
Yeah, that definitely comes in handy when you're rotating. That's true, but still, I feel that you maybe needed to pressure the tier 1 on the bottom lane. Is Kunkka really such a wall that you can't take down at all?
You gotta imagine that Masaros is not happy with how his game is right now. Like, he's a Beastmaster.
Right?
His team is losing their safe lane tower, as often happens, but usually you're trading these towers. But Beastmaster is playing on the back foot largely.
And you should be trading it unevenly. You should be trading it in a way that Beastmaster is taking the tower alone while his team is defending, or something like that, right?
You see Gacha Boy, but they maybe don't have that Insta-stun set up to initiate on him.
Okay, Parker, he's got the rune. There's no more excuses. Let's go.
I was trying to defend him before, but yeah. You know, he's only got 2 points inside of Fist. You know, he might need some more levels first.
I see.
I'm just a Gacha Boy fan.
I see. So let's just wait level 10 and then make some moves.
Yeah.
X marks the spot. Roar.
Yeah. Okay. They're going to pull him back, and that's going to be the ghost ship landing as the follow-up part should be enough to get the kill on Massa. Rolling Thunder, Raging Potato. Ignore him. Don't watch the Pangolier.
Yeah, don't look at that. Don't look at that.
We'll edit it out in post. Great team fight for SMG. Kills the Beastmaster, and they're going to look to steal these Ancients. That's a lot of gold that they can have for themselves. As Motivate.Trust aren't okay with this. They come in, take out the Weaver to start things off, and they want more. With the Kisses raining in, Raging Potato gets brought very low. Shield Crash not going to give him any damage blocking. Gacha Boy, he's in with the double damage. He's got one, and he's going to get a second with the help of the Centaur Conqueror.
And with the help of that double damage rune that you talked about. You were right all along.
And
it was all about the power rune.
Fist. That one extra level.
That's all that was needed, obviously. Maybe SMG... I can't blame them for trying to get that ancient stack. You have an armlet on Kunkka, maxed out Tidebringer. You have to try. But they didn't have any resources, no spells. It was extremely greedy thing to do.
So gets away from the cookie stun, or he may have been getting picked off there. And now we see Motivate.Trust group up, take that bottom tower, even though it comes a bit later than I imagine they would have liked.
Yeah, still, it did come with a couple of kills right around the triangle, so because of that, it's kind of alright. And now you can start dewarding the ancient stacks and protecting the Medusa there while she's farming.
Continuing to be a pesk. You need to go in full bug extermination mode to deal with him constantly invading these ancients, but it seems like the rest of SMG aren't looking to play off of Arthu's vision. They're just trying to use it to get their own farm on the map.
Yeah, he's just devouring the sentries. I'm surprised he didn't kill any couriers. There's just so many flying around. Like, he just doesn't have vision on them, sadly. There's one. He got one there. It's something. Do you remember the patch, the good old time when Bounty Hunter and Weaver, the only thing that you would do is hunt couriers?
Yeah.
Like,
back when you only had one courier too.
Yeah. And it would impact the game. It wasn't only the gold, right? Like, if the enemy team cannot get their items.
Oh, it was so annoying to play against sometimes. One mid. Gets away from the Cookie Sun, but gets caught in a searing change. The Blood Rat gonna back him up. Here comes the Mortimer's Kisses. Mid one getting low, but he's still got the armlet if he needs to toggle it on. And Raging Potato has caught Gacha Boy in the river, bouncing him around. He does get the fire element back to the high ground, but he's been scouted out. Taking away with the Spirit Vessel, the damage is there. Roger sees him with the Thirst, so he's able to chase him down and guarantee the kill. So a 1-for-1 trade. Mid one. He's low, but he's got that armlet toggle available.
I feel like they could have maybe killed Ember even a bit faster if a Raging Potato was on point with the Swashbuckle. He's not having the best game on the Pangle here, so far at least. If you remember the bounces on the bottom lane, the Swashbuckles top lane. But they're making it work. They did kill Ember in the end.
That's the big kill. As far as maybe the Deucey would slightly prefer, but right now Ember is the one making all these plays. TP out from Q. Survive the attempted kill as Boombell is hunting the Bloodseeker, gets him with the multicast Fire Blast. And that'll be enough to finish off the Bloodseeker.
Yeah,
How are you feeling about
multicast.
Bloodseeker support from what you've seen so far? Are you convinced by it yet?
Well, not really. And what we were talking about, and what I was listening to Cap, Sheep, and Evo talk about it. They were talking about Blood Rage most of the time, and I didn't see Blood Rage leveled up at all. So he's only going with... Oh, X marks the spot. They caught Beast.
Pull him back in and bring him down.
Yeah, that's an easy one for mid one.
The
Who's
one
got a
thing...
crit and travels now.
Oh, jeez, he's farmed. The one thing the Bloodseeker reminds me a bit of is the old, like, Death Prophet support, where the silence duration is pretty crazy when you max it early on. Like, a 6-second silence in an AoE. If you have set, like, stuns to set it up, in this case, like, the Kunkka with the X, I guess, like, that is a long silence.
That's a good point. I actually like that a lot. As long as you're able to set it up, right? And they do have things to set it up with, like this X marks the spot. They just killed off Q. They have Rolling Thunder as well. They do have enough control for it, so yeah, why not? It's a support that's very... it's a brawler type support, right? It's very difficult to trade hits with him in the lane, which is a bonus.
They're jumping up onto the cliff. Mid one now on the low ground. Could be in some trouble, but has the backup of the Rolling Thunder, I think. Can he find someone? Yep, he jumps on top of the Ember. Swashbuckler to follow it up. Is the damage going to be there? Lina shows up to finish off the Ogre, and Gacha Boy's trying to get back to the high ground, but he just gets taken out too fast to respond.
Yeah, he didn't have mana. He actually missed the first Remnant, and then the second one that was on the high ground. He missed like 50 mana for it. Unfortunate for him. Gets taken down, and when I'm looking at this game, I'm feeling that Ember shouldn't really be dying that easily. You know, you look at these heroes, he should be able to get away from.
Yeah. It's not like there's that insta-catch or hex or something that makes your life really difficult.
Yeah, exactly. No grips or hexes, impales, whatnot. It's literally Rolling Thunder that you're fighting against. And perhaps an LSA that catches you off guard, but that's about it.
Seems to be in a good position. It's 12 kills apiece, but a 4k gold lead on their way, mostly off of this mid matchup where Lina is 3,000 gold ahead of the Ember Spirit. I think ping down bottom. Moon has a BKB though, so could pop that if he needs to, but right now he just wants to get back to base because he is out of mana. But it does seem like a fight is potentially brewing.
They're just trying to pressure this tier 2. Ember meanwhile defending mid lane a little bit. And now we'll see if SMG decides to go defend the tier 2 on the bottom lane or maybe go for Rosh. I think they're going for Rosh. Lina is deeping mid.
Yeah.
Or maybe just Ember.
Ember walks into him, and they'll happily take the Ember if he's going to do that.
It's because of this ward, right next to the rune.
Yep.
And now Rosh, even better.
Okay. Gets the thought about TPing bottom to push out the wave a bit, and X's himself back. So now they'll kind of defend the bottom tier 2 tower while going for Roshan, but looks like this bottom tier 2 is being taken through the backdoor protection.
It's surviving. But yeah, eventually. And they smoke up instantly after taking Roshan. They can take the triangle, maybe invade their own jungle, reclaim it. Jackie needs to be careful if he continues farming.
They give Lina the Aegis too. The squisher of the 2 cores. Bell Ogre gets found, gets picked off. Pretty straightforward kill for SMG, who want more. They want to clear out their jungle. They know this has been kind of taken over, the outpost control taken away from them, and Motivate.Trust probably just have to escape these trees.
Moon needs to be careful. He might lose Aegis here.
There's going to be a BKB that gets popped before the roar hits, so Moon, instead of using up the Aegis, uses his first BKB charge.
Jack
Mid
boys.
lane, yep. They got the damage for this one. He pops a Manta, but he does it too early. The Ghost Ship is still going to hit him. Doesn't look like they've got anywhere near enough damage. Maybe with an X, which is up in a couple of seconds, they can initiate on Jack Boys as Raging Potato gets juked. He gets his ankles broken, but he's got the Blink Dagger, luckily, so still manages to catch Jack Boys. And with the Blood Right to follow it up, Afu secures the kill. Gotcha Boy takes out Roger to get some revenge here. He wants Raging Potato, but with some one charges, he's healed himself back up a bit. Has a swashbuckle, but doesn't have the mana. And it looks like a bit of a bloodbath with this dive in the mid lane. They're going to lose the Pangolier, but get the Ogre and force Motivate.Trust even further back in their base. Now, he is all sorts of alone as Afu will get the kill. Gets very low in the process, though.
Yeah, Afu is actually very tanky for a Weaver. If you look at his item build, he has 2 crowns. Most likely he's going for that Atos. Yep. Gleipnir afterwards, most likely. We were talking about how they're not... It doesn't look like that, but they truly do lack some instant control for the Ember. It didn't seem that way so far. And Weaver, because of that, was actually going for the Atos, which makes a ton of sense.
That'll help fill that gap. Perhaps Roger is struggling to deal with some boars.
With some bobs. Some bobs are chasing him down.
And there's, some bobs and a bear. Oh, wow. He just died to summons. That's a bit sad for him, but if his Kunkka gets the return kill, he's happy with this. He can't X him back, but the automatic X means the Ghost Ship still lands, and they get the kill nonetheless, so Roger's saying that's worth it from my perspective.
Yeah, I guess Masaros was sticking around to... So it's either the inner beast, right? Or it's to get some experience. Or it sometimes happens, you're just microing the units and you're moving with your hero as well. You can't, I mean, he wasn't out of position, he just...
Hit one.
Okay.
Gets ganked up. Have they got the damage to this one? It sure looks like it. Keeping in is Pangolier. Is he gonna go for this one? Yeah, they've got the Lina rotating in as well, so they want bigger fish to fry. They're gonna ignore Boombell's Ogre and go for, well, Q's Snapfire instead. I think they wanted Gotcha Boy, but they'll settle for the Snapfire and possibly the Ogre, but he TP's out, so...
And they settled for a position 4 instead of a 5. It's a bit better, right? And meanwhile, Medusa was farming on the bottom lane, so... Yeah, Kunkka dying there is not necessarily the best thing for SMG, obviously. They need to be extremely careful with these deaths. Even though you're in the lead, you are playing versus a Medusa.
So you see this as a game, with enough farm, with enough time, Medusa should come online and be able to carry this one?
I feel like she should be able to, but my problem is the way I'm seeing these fights. They're way too chaotic for Motivate.Trust. When you're playing with the Medusa, you don't want these chaotic fights in which there's just too many fights happening. You want one big giant fight with your Stone Gaze and you're hitting all the supports and whatnot. So far, SMG has done a really good job at picking them apart.
Using some of the chaotic nature of some of these heroes, Pangolier, Weaver with their high mobility to make these fights not as straightforward as perhaps Motivate.Trust would like. Maybe we'll get a bit easier with the Skadi pickup, giving a bit of extra slow to keep people nearby.
Top lane, they're chasing Ember.
Gotcha boy.
Silence.
Brought back into that Blood Red silence. And they chain stun him with the Yule Scepter on the Pangolier. He's actually being stunned up perfectly. Great plays from Ragey Potato. He's going to get a follow-up stun onto Boombell. Once more, gets the Swashbuckle onto the Snapfire, slowing him down. Afu, with the double damage, is going to have to be time-lapse his way back to a bit of health here, as Ragey Potato, maybe he's overcommitted. He's overplayed his hand. He started the fight so well.
Nice Manta.
And now with the roar onto mid one, this Jackboy's Medusa, he's finally coming online. He's just standing his ground and fighting. He's 1 versus 5 or 1 versus 2 because he's managed to take down a few with him, but unfortunately for him, the Lina is just too tough to handle right now. And with a Laguna Blade potentially coming, this does not spell success for Jackboys, who ends up going down. They didn't even need the Laguna Blade. He didn't have mana for it. He just did it the old-fashioned way with the right clicks.
I have to say Medusa played that really well in the fight around the shrine. The Manta to dodge a couple of spells, to dodge the Torrent and whatnot. It was on point, but in the end, Lina came to party. That Aegis was reclaimed, by the way. As Moon was hitting her, Aegis gets reclaimed. So if Lina was there at the start, it could have been much better for SMG. Also, the way they're controlling Ember, forcing him to buy that BKB, he will have it for the next engagement.
That's perhaps going to make this Motivate.Trust fight a bit easier. It feels like that's the kind of fight where if they have an Ember to fight around that Medusa, things can look really good for them.
Oh, for sure, I agree completely. He's been picked off way too many times for a game such as this one. Lina is 10-0, meanwhile Ember is actually a decent score, 7 kills, 6 stats, however, it's a lot. Atos?
He still gets the Fire Remnant away. Funka now being gone, and with the Fire Blast multicast, they're going to go in with a Raging Potato, Rolling Thunder. Doesn't connect on the Medusa, instead going to find the Snapfire on the sides here as...
Ember.
Oh no, he's being caught again, but he's got the BKB, that may save his life. Mid one's Kunkka gets low, not enough damage with the armlet being toggled back on. He'll survive, but Lina coming, rotating in, gets cookied. Oh, Moon, yeah, he pops the BKB just in time, but he can't run away, not from the Skadi Medusa. He knows he's dead, and he just feeds. Motivate.Trust win a huge fight in the mid lane.
I've seen some cocky Linas in the past, but that pretty much takes the prize, like, takes the trophy. He just runs uphill, uses BKB and tries to fight them. There's no way. Ember was actually the one catching them from behind. He got an Invis rune and went back in, caught the Weaver and the Kunkka. Kunkka now has a BKB. I think this is also a big deal for SMG. These last couple of fights he didn't have the BKB, and that's why they either traded evenly or lost the fight like they did in the last one.
It does feel like even on the SMG side, the fights haven't been perfectly synced up as well. They're going to look to make a play. Going on Jackboys here is a bit low on mana. And perhaps knowing that, they want to try and force this one. Rolling Thunder coming up in just a second. Raging Potato, he's ready to go. They burst down the Medusa. Absolutely deleted from this game. Asa getting low as well, as the roll is going to look for Gacha Boy. He gets the BKB off, so he should be fine. In fact, he's looking for kills. He wants to be more than fine, but with Medusa down, I don't think he can fight this one much more. He hasn't got any fire remnants. He may just get his BKB wearing off. He may just be dead here. He's hoping the Mortimer's Kisses from the Snapfire can bail him out, but it's not going to be enough. And now they know where Q is as well. They're chasing, looking for more. I think Q's managed... Oh, no, he's no longer managed to avoid them. He gets the cookie to the high ground, and nice play by Rage Potato with the Yule Scepter. Himself stuck, but he'll get the kill.
These two teams are just never satisfied. I think that's both of their problems. In this game, like, you take a good fight and then you just go way too far. If you took a good fight, chances are you used a lot of your resources and your spells for it, right? Like, why do you continue going in? Why do you continue taking this tier 2 instead of perhaps setting up the perimeter, warding up the triangle, waiting for the best possible situation for you to fight again? Especially when you're playing with the Medusa. Just got way too low, way too easily. That one crit from mid one as well was devastating.
Yeah, absolutely destroying that. Deuce's, I mean, I was surprised Deuce was still playing. Even crit or no crit, I think Jack Boys was just way too far forward. with considering he had no mana. This time around he's been gone and he has full mana at least, so he's going to be able to tank through a lot more damage, but his teammates need to help him out soon. He's getting low, and with the BKBs on mid one and Moon, they do have the damage to bring him down. Great Rolling Thunder going to stun up too, and mid one's got himself a triple kill. He wants more. They're charging forward. The cookie from Q. Anything to follow it up. It looks like Q will bring down Moon's Lina with the help of Gacha Boy. Gacha Boy, he's getting low. He manages to get to the sidelines here. Can he get out? No, he can't. Arfu will finish him off as Boombell, the last man standing for Motivate.Trust, and he's going to be their full team wipe. The Rampage mid one puts his name on this game.
I think Boombo, he just buybacks there, gives the Kunkka the Rampage. He deserved it. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Jackie. Yee.
This has been a pretty rough series for him.
It's been very difficult, yeah. In the first game on the Wraith King, he had a couple of plays where he's out of position. In this game as well, he TPs on this tier 2 that's extremely difficult to defend, tier 2 that's usually controlled and warded up by the enemy team, instantly gets gone on, and he's the sole reason why they were even in this fight. They didn't want to take it. They didn't even respawn and converge on the same place together, right? So they kind of just ended up running in one by one, trying to save Private Jackie, and just fed.
It's definitely usually his play as a carry has been I mean it hasn't been bad this series, but like you say, it's just a couple of pickoffs which completely kind of put his team in a terrible position, something that he's not known for doing.
I remember him when he was playing in T1, like T1 positional, like they wouldn't perhaps win the lanes and they wouldn't be massively ahead in the mid game, but positionally they were always really good around Jackie. Like they would play really well the strategic game, waiting around the high grounds, protecting Jackie, making sure that he's always ahead core to core matchup, carry to carry matchup. Maybe he's feeling the same in this team. Maybe he's feeling that they're supposed to be doing the same thing, but they aren't. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just way too used to how things used to be, that he's seeing things that aren't there. They're just not supporting him as much. They're not there instantly when he's TPing to a tier 2, let's say.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. A bit easier to be together when you're defending your high ground at least, so Motivate.Trust, that's the position they're going to find themselves in.
Can't get picked off if you're all together on the high ground, yeah.
Yep. It's just the one outer tower remaining down bottom if they want to go for it, but SMG seem to be maybe interested in playing the farm game. They've also had to deal with this Beastmaster, the Helm of the Overlord, constantly split pushing some of these waves, being a bit pesky. And as a result, Raging Potato are going to go back and defend with the X though, so he can be pulled back into the fight. As we'll see if SMG can find that initiation or that start to the fight that they're hoping to get.
He sees Gacha Boy here.
Gets the LSA. Is there going to be a follow-up stun? Doesn't look like it. The Remnant away.
Angle.
Yep, he's rolled in. Can't follow it up, not with the Stone Gaze being cast, but perhaps SMG just going to be happy because they forced out a Stone Gaze, which could be a win in itself. Mid one on the low ground taking a bit of damage, but as the Roar comes out on a Raging Potato, he's getting low and not sure he's got a way out of this one. The Ghost Ship, the Run buff coming in a bit too late for him, but they do take out the tier 3 tower. Looks like SMG just want to retreat as they're in a 4v5 situation. Moon maybe going to look to turn around, catch the buzz right. Great LSA dodge by Ember. He saw it coming. He go back in and finish off some of these kills. The Kunkka getting low. Mid one's got an Aegis. He's going to be coming back to life with a BKB and Satanic though, and will Motivate.Trust want to fight into this one? It looks like for now the answer's no. Master's just going to hide himself into the trees. They cookie in the Ogre, who's looking to follow up with a Fire Blast. Get some good damage. Mid one getting low here, but he pops the BKB. Needs to try and find a target of life steal off. Jack Boy's on the front lines with the Scotty. He's just keeping mid one in place. He can't get away from this Medusa. Great team fight for Motivate.Trust, who are going to buy back on the Pangolier. And Roger and Moon going to find themselves being backed up now by Raging Potato and able to push Motivate.Trust back into their base.
Now, what was this buyback too late? Let's see. They do have buyback on Ember and Beastmaster, but it looks like they will just lose the Raxes. Yeah, they're just not defending fast enough.
Have to have Medusa. Medusa wanted to heal first, didn't even get all her mana back, but it was just, yeah.
And they just needed to refresh, right? They needed to go back and get all the resources. Understandable. Also questionable if Pango could buy back a little bit earlier to rejoin that fight on top lane. Because Kunkka had the Aegis, right? And if you know that he has the Aegis and that you can turn maybe buyback. Maybe he didn't. He did have gold, so I'm not sure what happened there. Wasn't on cooldown. Yeah.
Motivate.Trust, though, just the one Rax going down. They've definitely got heroes that aren't going to be too bothered about, you know, some stronger creeps coming their way when you've got a Medusa, Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, they're going in for the Medusa kill.
Can they bring down this Medusa? Pops the BKB. Raging Potato trading his ultimate for the BKB of Medusa.
Instant smoke, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Double damage rune, though. This could be bad for Motivate.Trust if they don't realize a double damage Lina could be awaiting them.
There's still no Kunkka. So maybe if they get a pick off, but he should be TPing right away. He has travels.
Yep. And he's going to do just that, TPing to the top lane. Mid won't be looking to rejoin his team. Afu in the front lanes will run into Q Snapfire. Either player going to look to fight into one or the other, and they're going to follow it with a roar. Nice use of the Scatter Blast shard. I don't think Weaver was expecting that.
Buy back?
Go for it. Get the X on a Boom Bell. Follow up with the Torrent. The Torrent catches two with the Ghost Shift, and they've actually caught Medusa. Jackboy's walked into this one, but he got off the Stone Gaze. That's going to catch mid one. He gets stoned up as Afu's going to be careful. He just fought back, and he may die again. He gets so low, and Afu, he's going to try to fight his way out of this one with another Shikuchi. He may just escape, and Medusa goes down, and SMG have just destroyed them. Double damage. Lina and Kunkka just cleaving through people. Moon's on a killing streak. Mid one getting several kills, and they're just going to go for the tier 4s. It's game, but no one is buyback.
Yeah, that's game right there. I'm actually kind of sad. Like, it's not like I'm a fanboy of either one of these two teams, but just I expected more. I expected more from Motivate.Trust in a game such as this one. Not sure what happened there in the end. They just took a couple of poorly knitted fights. Medusa running into that torrent as well where Ogre is. I understand, like, okay, you're trying to save the Ogre, right? But it's a position 5 Ogre. You're not supposed to put yourself in such of a bad spot just for saving him. The positioning of that fight was also very bad for Motivate.Trust, because when you're playing a Medusa, you don't really necessarily want to be on the low ground there, hitting everyone uphill. It's also something that's a bit of a problem for you, so... It happens. Sometimes you get 2 games in which you're not in your form. Maybe you didn't sleep well. It happens. I'm sure Motivate.Trust will bounce back.
And that's what this definitely felt like. Motivate.Trust not in their A game. The problem is it comes at a pretty unfortunate time, because this could be the deciding series for like 3rd place, for example, because SMG have now beat Motivate.Trust as well as Fnatic, who are their biggest competition for 3rd place, behind, assuming that T1 and Boom are the 2 best teams in SEA, which, you know, who knows? A lot of things can happen. There's still a lot of Dota left. So SMG, great clutch victory for them. They just played some pretty crisp Dota for the most part. It was still had a bit of craziness, a bit of dives, but that's always going to come with SMG, and that's when they're, you know, winning games. They love to go for those plays. So yeah,
this was crazy. The fountain dives, and then Pango, Raging Potato, just playing the same like he's playing a Spirit Breaker. Still though, they make it work.
Yeah, they're a fun team to watch, that's for sure. There's always, you know, I'm sure their fans always like, are they going to dive and, you know, go too far? But for now, they get the 2-0 win. Unfortunately, Lizard, you get yourself another 2-0. Hopefully some 3-game series coming, you know, our way over the next few weeks. But we're going to head back to the panel as we wrap up today's action, because that's it. Dota's done for today, but we'll have a breakdown as we get to a quick break and then back to our lovely panel.